Hey everyone, welcome to This Explainer. Today we are diving into something that's literally a career superpower, technical English for IT support. I mean, if you've ever frozen up during a daily stand-up, or maybe struggled to write a support ticket that actually gets immediate action from an engineering team, trust me, you are definitely not alone. It's a super common hurdle. But the best part? It's entirely fixable. Today, we're going to upgrade your professional communication skills so your language is just as sharp as your technical abilities. 65%. Think about that for a second. That is the percentage of developers globally who use English as their primary language for technical communication. But here's the kicker. The hidden career value behind that number is just staggering. Research actually shows that having a high level of technical English proficiency can boost your salary by up to 30 or even 40%. Your coding and troubleshooting skills, they might be absolutely brilliant, but if you can't communicate them effectively, your English could be costing you your next job or promotion. So, this explainer is going to give you the precise phrases you need to succeed. Okay, let's dive into this. We are going to follow the chronological day in the life of an IT issue. First, actionable bug reports. Second, professional escalations. Third, blameless postmortems. And finally, a real-world scenario along with the ultimate essential vocabulary list. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, actionable bug reports. This is the very first absolutely critical step when a feature breaks. If your initial bug report isn't clear, the fix just gets delayed, right? The ping-ponging of questions starts and frustration spikes across the whole team. When something breaks, clarity is your absolute best friend. There's a massive difference between an amateur bug report and a professional one. For example, the classic, "it doesn't work," is a really frustrating direct translation trap that gives a developer zero context. But contrast that amateur approach with a professional title, "Checkout, payment form submits twice when user double-clicks pay button." Notice the transformation there. We start with the specific component in brackets, then an action verb describing the exact failure, and finally the precise trigger condition. Boom! That title is instantly developer-ready. You've got to remember, a developer with absolutely no context must be able to follow your reproduction steps without telepathy. The anatomy of a perfect ticket really comes down to three crucial things. Number one, the starting state. Like, are you logged in as an admin? Is it a fresh database? Number two, exact inputs. Don't just say enter some data. Explicitly say click the submit button twice. And number three, expected versus actual behavior. Clearly state what should have happened and what actually happened. Never assume the reader knows what correct looks like in your complex system. Moving right along to Section 2, professional escalations. So you've written a brilliant ticket, but unfortunately, it's stuck. You need to escalate it to higher level management without sounding panicked or aggressive. Real quick, before we look at how to unblock it, a fast casual pronunciation tip for a word you're going to see constantly. Q-U-U-E. It's pronounced Q, exactly like the letter Q. Okay, so when tickets are stuck in your queue, they need polite, urgent escalation. Let's see how that looks in practice. Check out this Hyver escalation template. It perfectly conveys urgency without a single hint of panic. This issue is currently affecting X% of users and requires immediate attention. Notice what it doesn't do? It doesn't use all caps or a string of exclamation points. It focuses entirely on objective facts. The scope, meaning how many people are impacted, and the velocity, meaning how fast the problem requires attention. It's calm, it's factual, and it's incredibly effective. To craft emails exactly like that, there is a super simple formula. Be clear and concise and provide that context of scope and velocity, but pay special attention to using polite modals, words like could or would. In English business settings, being too direct can sometimes come across as rude. So instead of making a direct demand like give me access, use polite modals like could you check the server logs? This one simple shift ensures you maintain strong, professional relationships even when project timelines are seriously on the line. Now for Section 3, blameless postmortems. Okay, the fire is officially out. The servers are back online, crisis averted. Now it's time to document exactly what happened, and your choice of specific postmortem language really matters here. Let's define the concept. A blameless postmortem is a structured review focused on systemic root causes and preventative actions, not human error. Professional English in global IT teams focuses heavily on solutions and organizational learning. It's never about blaming your teammates or finding a scapegoat. You can hear exactly what that sounds like in practice when we compare these two approaches. Instead of the poor emotional phrasing of the system crashed because of John, the professional equivalent is root cause was identified as an inefficient database query.
Notice how the passive voice immediately removes the emotion and the human blame and highlights the systemic fix instead. And instead of a vague, "we need to try harder," the professional phrasing is, "corrective actions include adding automated tests." It's entirely objective, specific, and totally blameless.
Finally, we're at Section 4, Scenario, the Ultimate Rewrite, and Vocab. Let's put all of this together and tackle a real-world scenario applying everything we've learned today. Imagine you get a Slack message saying, "Login is broken on mobile, fix ASAP, bro." I mean, it's terrible. It lacks real context, it's way too informal, and again, it requires telepathy to troubleshoot. But we can transform that into a professional masterpiece. Off, iOS Safari 17 login fails. Workaround, tap button directly. Severity high. Just look at that. In a few words, we've tagged the component, specified the exact environment, provided a temporary workaround for the users, and explicitly classified the severity. This is exactly how you command respect in a tech team. Before we hit our final essential vocabulary lists, we've got one last quick pronunciation coaching moment. Cash. It's pronounced cash, just like money. It is not cachet. Getting this right and saying, "I cleared the cache," clearly and confidently in your next daily stand-up will instantly mark you out as an experienced pro. All right, let's rapid fire through the first half of our essential IT support phrases, giving you some quick context for those daily meetings. First up is blocker. This is something that is completely stopping your progress. Next is a workaround. That's your temporary fix while you figure out a permanent solution. When you hear someone say they'll pick up a ticket, it simply means they're starting to work on a task. To reproduce an issue means you can successfully recreate the bug on your own machine. And the root cause is the fundamental, underlying reason a problem occurred in the very first place. Continuing our list, if you're on track, you're progressing exactly as planned. If you flag something, you are raising an issue for the entire team's immediate attention. To iterate means to improve a piece of software gradually over time. To monitor is to continuously observe a system's metrics. And finally, to implement is to put a plan, a system, or a fix into action. Keep in mind, these specific patterns aren't just arbitrary grammar rules. They are exactly what experienced senior professionals use every single day. I want to end this explainer with a pretty provocative question for you to consider. Is your English helping you solve the problem, or is it becoming part of the problem? In the IT world, your coding or troubleshooting skills might get your foot in the door, but your communication skills are what will help you actually grow into leadership. Practice these templates, actively use this vocabulary, and your communication will absolutely become your greatest IT superpower. Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep learning.